Good afternoon. Today, myself and my colleagues Mark Browning, Smita Hulasogi, and Tazra Gill are going to present to you our findings on our report on Rejuvenating Spa Inc. We're going to recommend our implementation strategy and help you take your company into the future to achieve your goals. So, what we're going to be talking about today, first we're going to talk about the current situation. We're going to analyze where you are now before we start talking about where you need to go. We're going to identify the major issues that we see within your case and evaluate all the alternative ways we can address those issues. We're then going to present to you how we recommend you proceed, as well as an implementation plan, a step-by-step guide to take your company into the future. Finally, we'll answer any questions you have about the report you see today. So first we want to talk about the actual goals of the stakeholders and what they want to achieve. First off, they want to increase brand recognition. In an industry such as the spa industry that's service-intensive, brand recognition is very important, and getting the RSI and Lavish name out there is very important. They want to maintain their socially responsible image, which is very important to them and very important to consumers. They want to grow their business and diversify income, as diversifying income streams will help protect them from downturns in the economy and other trends. The issue is that the shareholders and stakeholders seek different ways to achieve these goals, so we're going to have to mitigate those when moving forward. Strengths of the company include the fact that RSI and Lavish hit very diverse markets. RSI is well positioned to hit the middle class market, Lavish is more of an upper class market, diversifying who they hit as a company. As mentioned earlier, they have a very social reputation, which is very important to consumers in an ever-evolving market that cares more and more about social awareness. Finally, they have highly trained staff who create personalized customer experiences, which is obviously very important in a service-heavy industry such as spas. Opportunities include social trends towards social awareness, where consumers care more and more about the aware and economically friendly policies that companies take. Trends towards spa-related tourism, giving companies a chance to stay and get a spa package. And they want personalized experience at their spas. They want that customization from the staff. RSI's weaknesses include high staff turnover, which would make it harder for them to create that customer experience, as well as higher labor costs and training costs. They have a current lack of brand awareness, meaning consumers don't really know who they are and don't have that image associated with RSI that they need to create that marketing and branding strategy. And finally, their shareholders have limited time and limited experience to manage the company. The biggest threats to the company include a very competitive marketplace where suppliers have a lot of bargaining power, low switching costs, and a market that competes very little on price. Furthermore, spas are seen as sort of an unnecessary expense, meaning that many people will cut expenditures on them if the economic takes a turn for the worse or people need to save more money. This could make it difficult for our side to compete in times of economic turbulence. I'm now going to pass it off to Mark to talk about the first issue, how we evaluated that issue, and how to proceed with our recommendation.
My name is Mark Browning, and I will be discussing two strategic options. The first one is the consolidation of RSI and Lavish under one brand name. The advantages of this option are cost savings after consolidation in the administration, accounting, information systems, and banking expenses. Consolidation also allows for a centralized decision-making structure. Lastly, consolidation of the different companies will allow the different missions and visions to strengthen the company by providing a cohesive strategy. However, Lavish's manager is opposed to joining the companies because they're different, except for the administration department. The Lavish has a bonus structure, so consolidating RSI and Lavish could result in a poorer bonus program, not as lucrative for the Lavish employees, which will cause unhappy employees. And in summary, the two companies have a different client base, services, and atmosphere. The consolidated financial statements show that each company is better off on its own. The main reason is due to the amortization of intangible assets. There's also room for savings in operational expenses. The financing requirements, there's no investment needed for this option, and all costs are considered regular costs of doing business. We recommend that RSI and Lavish consolidate their operations, however, maintain their own brand names, join all support functions, and standardize the employee bonus scheme. The next option I'm going to talk about is franchising. The advantages of franchising are it's in line with the board's mandate for growth. Franchising allows for the expansion into new geographical markets faster than financing the expansion all on its own. Franchising will also capture market share by becoming a reputable brand name in the spa industry. Lastly, experienced franchisees may bring knowledge to the company to improve its operations. However, franchisees may have different values which could damage the brand's reputation. There's significant time and cost to find the correct locations for franchisees, and ideal locations for franchisees may not be available. The quantitative analysis, the break-even point is approximately 8 franchisees, and also franchisees' investments and profitability will depend on the number of therapists working at each location. This will require $250,000 in operating manuals and marketing materials, and the first year's activity will be about $65,000, and there may also be other costs that we have not yet considered. We recommend to delay franchising for at least 1 year. In 2017, open 4 franchises. In 2018, open 8 franchises. And depending on the success of the partnership with FFL, we may or may not recommend this option. I will pass this on to Smita to discuss the next option.
Thank you, Mark. My name is Smita and I will be discussing the next option available to the RSI board. The third option available to RSI board is the partnership with the FFL. Pros of this option is that FFL's mission and vision are aligned with the RSI's mission and vision. This option has no risk as the rental space is provided by the FFL and it has agreed to provide the initial financing to renovate those massage therapy centers where the borrowing cost will be lower than the bank rate. RSI can access the FFL's customer database, so RSI can expand its business to FFL's customer. By diversifying its operations in this way, RSI can achieve the financial stability. In this option, RSI can retain its present employees and train them as the massage therapist with a new responsibility and flexibility. Cons of this option is that the RSI is not getting enough brand promotion as there are no logo or name of RSI visible at FFL's location. If the therapy center's volume goes down, then FFL may end up closing those unprofitable centers and RSI may end up losing the initial investment. As mentioned in the Appendix E, profitability analysis was performed for both small and large centers. The first year projected profit is approximately 3 times the initial investment. This option requires an investment under $50,000 in financing for the first year. However, RSI should consider additional cost before entering into agreement. Some of the recommendations are RSI should request for the audited financial statement from FFL in order to evaluate the financial stability. With an agreement with FFL, the massage therapy center should be rebranded with RSI's name and logo. Profit generated from this partnership can be used to fund franchising operations. Due diligence should be performed before entering into this agreement to make sure that all the information provided by FFL is correct and can be supported. The next option available to RSI board is the acquisition of Pure Substance Inc. Pros of this option is that this is a vertical integration which will help RSI to reduce the cost and increase the efficiency by blocking the competitors entering into the market. RSI can create the new brand image. It will manufacture and sell the environmentally friendly spa products. RSI can promote environmentally social responsibility by continuing the Pure's charitable work. Cons of this option is that this acquisition could lead to increased cost as RSI has no experience in managing manufacturing operations or expertise in production of those organic spa products. One of the threat is the increased foreign competition which has resulted in the falling profit margin of Pure Substance Inc. Pure's cost of production has been increased relatively to its revenue, and the main problem is the freight cost which is being drastically increased. One of the agreement condition of the Pure Substance owner is that if RSI acquire Pure Substance Inc., it has to retain the operations of PEI, which may give rise to the ethical obligation for RSI. Pure's revenue has been consistently decreasing over the last 3 years, and a drastic decrease in the cash in 2013 and 14 is been a big concern. Pure's revenue like when we analyzed if the purchasing price of this option is going to be $6 million, then RSI will need at least $360,000 per year to cover the borrowing cost at the rate of 6%. Recommendation about these options is that there is a lot of risk associated with this acquisition due to Pure's deteriorating financials. RSI is planning to roll out lot of new projects which may end up in failure in every project due to lack of RSI managerial experience in manufacturing, and due to the time constraint, this option is not in the best interest of RSI. Now I will pass my presentation to Tasveer to discuss further. Thank you.
Under financial forecast, we have created both for FFL and franchising. We've determined that there's two alternatives for financing for RSI. One of the alternatives is going the route of the bank. Under this route, they have a max availability of $50 million. However, bank covenant ratios won't be met, and dividends won't be able to be paid out to shareholders. And this is because the interest coverage ratio, if they choose to go under the bank, will be lower than 10. If they choose to go under the alternative financing method of Blair Cummings, which is convertible debt, then there'll be no impact to debt service ratios, and dividends will be able to be paid out yearly without any issues in cash flow. We recommend going under Blair's method because Blair can also choose to convert his debt into equity and thereby offer his financial background to the board. Under consolidation, we see that RSI's revenues will continue to grow while the cost will continue to decrease as a part of synergy. We've noticed some operational issues within RSI as well. One operational issue is that there might be conflict in management styles upon consolidation of RSI and Lavish. Now, even though Lavish and RSI are consolidating financially, they won't be consolidating operationally. And what this means is the core business of Lavish will stay separate from the core business of RSI. The only things that we'll have to consolidate or possibly amend/change would be the support functions and administrative functions on the side, such as IT. Now, it will be up to new management or even former management of Lavish and RSI, or a combination, to decide who will be in charge of what and how it will be implemented in the future. Some employees might be resistant to this change as they're used to the former ways. However, it is up to top management to ensure them that everything will still be running effectively and similarly as in the past, just with new operations as a part of the growth of the business. There is going to be lack of financial background because new users for the consolidated company will no longer care about internally generated financial statements that aren't prepared under any accordance of any GAAP. Therefore, we recommend ASPE is the best method to go, as IFRS is way too rigorous for RSI. If ASPE is to be used, then we would take advantage of the financial background of Blair Cummings on the board, as the board doesn't have that much financial background with respect to ASPE and financial reporting. As mentioned earlier, this is our plan of action. Managers will have to focus on the big picture rather than small issues. There will be continuous education with respect to new IT that's consolidated, and then we invite Blair to be part of the board. This is our new vision. Quickly going through it, we notice that the vision focuses on the geographical location of RSI's brand, and the mission is very heavily focused on the client as opposed to before. This ties into the new balanced scorecard, which states that new performance measures such as a percentage of revenue from new sources, utilization rate, number of complaints will be used to track the strategic alignment of goals and the strategy of the company overall with the actual operations. This can also be seen in Appendix J for your own information. Our overarching recommendations are employee bonus schemes be segregated between manager level and above and below management level, and that franchising be delayed by 1 year just to see if they have enough funds and financing to fully operate. And finally, MTC should be partnered with immediately to test the waters to see if franchising is a viable option going forward. In conclusion, we recommend that they consolidate with Lavish Spa, partnership with FFL, and franchise in the future. That's the end of our presentation. Please let us know if there's any questions. Thank you.